ones who got off that roller coaster are still going to die. Unless we can figure out how to stop it.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2006 horror sequel, Final Destination 3. The film is co-written and directed by James Wong and it stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ryan Merriman, we have Chris Lemsch, Alex Johnson and Sam Easton. Okay, this time round, the film again focuses on a group of individuals who survive, this time, a roller coaster disaster. You get a great sequence at the beginning, the usual thing as you do in these Final Destination films. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character Wendy has a premonition that the popular roller coaster at the local fairground is going to malfunction and there's going to be a lot of people killed. She freaks out just as the ride's about to set off. She manages to get off, some people follow her, and the inevitable happens, and then the film follows the same pattern as the others. Death kind of creeps up on those that have escaped its plan in more and more creative ways. It takes out the characters in the film. Right, what are my thoughts on Final Destination 3? Well, as I've said, I'm going to watch and review all the Final Destinations. I had seen the first two, and I wasn't sure after that if I'd seen the others, and after watching this I know I haven't seen this one, so I suspect I haven't seen the next two either. But while I'm actually quite enjoying these Final Destination films, what I'm realising as each film goes on, they're actually getting more and more difficult to review, because while they're not bad films, they're essentially the same films just repackaged. So it's kind of rinse and repeat. It's just a different disaster scenario. So obviously the first one you had the plane, the second one it was the highway accident, this time it's the roller coaster. Beyond that, it's the same stuff. But you get, obviously, I think one of the big draws for this film is the creative kills. Certainly for me, and I do find that the best part of the film. It's the most fun, and I like the fact that they don't hold back on those kills. In here, for example, you've got death by sunbed, which is quite unique, and it's quite an intense scene in a lot of ways. Death by car engine fan, again very, very graphic. You've got death by the gin. Death by horse, I suppose. I mean, I do really enjoy the creativity this film has to its approach, to killing the characters. And I have to say as well, I'm quite a big fan of Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I always have been. I think she's got some. I don't think she's quite reached the levels of fame that she deserves. I do think she's a pretty good actress, and I've usually enjoyed everything she's ever done. And she makes a strong lead here, arguably stronger than certain. Well, you could even say the first one, but I did enjoy her character here. And I actually didn't mind Ryan Merriman's character Kevin as well, because it wasn't like a romance or anything like that. It was, they both lost someone on the roller coaster. I think it was Ryan Merriman's character Kevin, he lost his girlfriend, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead lost her boyfriend. I think that's right. So they're kind of kindred spirits in many ways. And the thing I always struggle with here is how they kind of all figure out what's going on so quickly. That death's after them, and there's death has a plan and there's a pattern, and they're just a quick Google search or whatever it is they do, and they find out about the other accidents, and then they're all like, ooh, this has happened before, and they don't initially. One of them finds this information and tells the other. They don't initially believe them, but then it's kind of undeniable. And I know it's just a movie, but you know, would any of us buy that crap if it was, you know, presented to us? I mean, I know you'd probably be dead very quickly, but you wouldn't necessarily believe it, and they just get on board really, really quickly as well. Now, there's no physical appearance this time of Tony Todd, you know, the guy who plays like the guy in the coroner in the first two movies, who, you know, many believe to be like the spokesperson of death or death himself in these films. He does appear, though. He voices, I think, the roller coaster ride. It's got like a death theme going on for it, and he kind of is the voice of the roller coaster. You know, it's enticing its customers in, and I believe as well his voice is heard near the end of the film on like the underground. They catch like a train underground, and it's his voice again. So he does appear, just not physically this time round. And each film they try and tweak it a little bit, in a sense of there might be a way of kind of fooling death or tricking death or getting off, sort of thing. So they've tried different ideas each time. I mean, clearly it's never worked because everyone dies pretty much, you know. And this time round it's almost like, well, if you kill this person, sort of thing, in out of sequence, then this will happen. And it's just like, you know, if it ain't broke, if you like, don't fix it. And while I would like to see some level of originality going forward in these films, in the last two, I suspect I'm not going to get it, but I would like to see a level of originality maybe, because I just necessarily can't understand where this franchise goes after this, because it is just retelling the same story. It's just different characters and different deaths. It's not bad, in fact it's actually quite entertaining. It's just not different enough, if you like. But yeah, I certainly enjoyed it. I did enjoy Mary Elizabeth Winstead's performance, and I didn't dislike all the characters here. I thought, you know, there were some fun moments here in this film. And I'm looking forward to checking out the next one, which I think is it called The Final Destination, but right, I shall check it out anyway. So we've got 2 more to go. Thanks for joining me, guys, for this review. Don't forget to call back on the channel for plenty more reviews and content very, very soon.